too often is all these numbers. It's, monetary policy, fiscal policy. Most people, including me, really don't know what that actually means. I think actually with economists, tying things down to the real nitty-gritty of people's everyday lives is a really good way of doing it.
This year's been great. I think it's been one of our best ever, just in terms of the number of people that have shown up. And I think it shows that people are hugely interested in economics, partly because of the stresses that the country's going through, but also partly because of just a general wish to understand Britain's place in the world.
It's always an absolute pleasure to come to Bristol. It's a pleasure to speak at the festival. They just do wonderful work. And it's so good to see so many people engaged with ideas about economics and more importantly with ideas about the economy.
It's really great to see this level of discussion being made available to this audience in this kind of setting. I think that's fantastic.
I went to Big Data session yesterday and I thought that's not for me, it's data, and I'm a kind of averse to that's technology in there, and I found it truly fascinating.
So we were talking to a whole group of school students and we were kind of giving them our view on the economy and kind of why it's so important, but also listening to them and finding out what it is that's really important to them and what it is that they want to know from kind of economists like us.
It was so good to see such a large group of young people interested in economics and really tell them what it would be like, doing things in economics outside of school or after university. So it was really nice to see kind of a whole new generation of economists.
I work as a volunteer in a food bank. There are thousands and hundreds of thousands of food banks across the country. We have a massive disparity of wealth. And the question I asked was really about what a government that wanted to do something about that could actually achieve, given the power of the markets, the bond markets.
They've done zillions of these events by now, at least it feels that way. And I never had people stand up and be like, I work in a farm or I work in a lorry business and this is the issue I have right now. And so this is incredible that you managed to connect economists and economic talk with wider audiences.
We had a lecture yesterday on wages. That's right, wages and prices. That was really, really interesting. But the lecture yesterday from the university lecturer was very detailed.
I mean, it's been great to be here. The festival is a great event. I came last year when I just started working at the bank. A year on, I'm not sure it's been an easy year for monetary policy, but it's great to be back and be able to try and explain what the Bank of England's doing. I think we face a lot of challenges with inflation well above target and with the economy going into recession. But it's been a really good opportunity to learn from the people who are attending about how they see these challenges and also to try and give a sense of what we at the bank are trying to do to address them.
I came down particularly to see Andy Haldane. I was very excited to hear what he had to say about his 30 years experience at the Bank of England then, so I wanted to hear about his reflections looking back. I can't believe the turnout, it's really very impressive. I can't believe there are so many people who give up their evenings, particularly in the rain, to come and listen to economics, but fantastic.
People coming have often said they've come in previous years, or I've spoken to them in the past, and they've got more questions. It's an incredibly lively audience who are interested in issues and also come with deep knowledge of British society and generally the economic events that are affecting them. So it's an absolute pleasure to come here.
It's fantastic because we've been remiss, all our jargon, whatever, and we just haven't done enough.
People who are big names, they're big commentators, they shape the debate. So it's just interesting to see them up close, slightly put on the spot maybe, encouraged to go a bit off script, see how they deal with that, and it's nice. It's kind of brings a personal element to the debate.
I hope this turns into the Woodstock for economists.